So let's talk about these student study skill tips. We're going to run through this real quick. First one, make a reasonable study schedule. Remember I said that earlier? You have to have a study schedule. Same way you have a work schedule, you got to create a study schedule. All right, how many hours should you study for one 3-hour class? How many hours should you study that week for a 3-hour class?
6.
You said what?
6 hours.
Good job. So that means if you have a 3-hour class and you know it's Monday and Wednesday of each week, then that means you need to be studying additional what? 3 hours on Monday and 3 hours on Wednesday. It gives you 6 hours that you need for a 3-hour class. So Monday, Wednesday, study days for your study classes. I'm not telling you how to do it, but now y'all see how it fills out. If you're going to be in the classroom for an hour and a half, you need to study for at least an hour and a half, 2 hours for that class. He said 3. I say an hour and a half, but yeah. Don't cram. What's cramming? Waiting to the what? Last minute. Procrastinating. That's all it is. You want to put 3 chapters worth of knowledge in 3 hours. Can't cram. Be smart. You know that you have midterms. You know when they come up, plan. That's why you have the schedule. The schedule prevents you from cramming. Study in an appropriate environment. We have the resource room at HAAMI. We'll talk about the resource room. We have the library. Each building, each different building on campus has a study center in it. Meet with your professor. You should know them first name basis by the time you leave their class. By the time you leave their class, you should be cool enough that you can really reach out to them for a reference. All right? Just because a professor is not one of your main class laws, this is just a lecture. Don't do that. Treat them with the same respect as a senior project teacher. Okay? You want them to respect your grade, you gotta respect them. Meet with them. Talk to them. Get to know them and get to know their class procedures. They will tell you what their emphasis in their classes are. Meet with your advisor more than once. Meet with your advisor before you take an internship. Meet with your advisor before you get a class. Before you get a new job, come talk to us, and we'll tell you how that's going to affect you. UM degree, come to my office so I can show you how your UM degree works. Point blank period. Eat well, sleep, and exercise. Keep a balanced lifestyle. Make sure that that's focused, balanced, all right? Everything's appropriate in your life. Yes, there will be times where it might be, things might go, disarray, or things might not go your way, or issues happen, personal. But if you have a great schedule, all right, you'll be able to plan that appropriately. All right, so departments. You have scholarship office, like Ms. Roy said, fill out the scholarship. Financial aid office, because everyone needs to know where they financially stand. Education support programs, ESP. Those are ESP programs for tutoring. Student health center, because I know y'all get sick sometimes. Sick of school. Care center, the Center for Academic Retention and Enrichment Services. This is for people that are struggling or you feel like you're about to struggle. Go to the Care Center, all right? Don't have the Care Center contact you. If the Care Center contact you, all right, then that's going to be an issue. Contacts. Lofton Wilburn, scholarships, Dr. Yancey, learning specialist, myself, Ms. Kylie, different people on here that are here to help you out. All right?
So it's important that you understand that academic integrity is an important piece of what all professors want to make sure that you hold yourself to. That means, and that varies, but that means in general, no sharing of information about tests, doing your own original work, okay? If not, the consequences can include being accused of plagiarism, being accused of academic dishonesty, going before review boards, getting an F, and possible expulsion. So make sure you understand what the expectations are. Disability statement. If you have a disability, you need to register with the Office of Disability. Again, this is not if you have problems, if you need more time taking tests because of some issue, if you need more time completing assignments, if you need special assistance with taking notes or anything like that. If you can document that disability, you register the Office of Disability Services, provide documentation to the instructor between you and them, and they have to provide you those additional resources that can look like anything, okay, that you need, okay? So if you have those legitimate reasons, you need to take, that includes anything like attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, you know, problems focusing, and any other kind of physical, emotional, or mental disability, okay? The next thing on my syllabus is the course competencies. We're an accredited program, and so there's certain things that the accrediting body wants to make sure that we're providing in the course, okay? So so one of the things is social work. We're making sure that our students understand how to work with populations that are diverse and operate and service them in ways that appreciate their cultural diversity, okay? That understand power dynamics. Course policy. All my students use APA format, okay, to write their papers, okay? No other format is accepted, and there's a statement on plagiarism, okay? So you probably all know, if you write me a paper, I can take it, kick it into the computer software, it can tell me whether this paper is plagiarized or not, whether this paper has been used before, whether you're using substantial content in this paper that you're not citing, okay? If you don't know how to do in-text citations, if you don't know how to do a reference page and connect the citations to the reference page, that's what the Learning Lab is for. And that's what we can help you do too. A lot of students get accused of plagiarism not because they're intentionally trying to pull a fast one, because they don't know how to cite appropriately the material that they're writing in their paper. You can't put other people's works, statistics, their original ideas and thought in your paper and not give them credit for it. You've got to cite that. And it's not all quotations, okay? A quote is a direct word. That's a direct quote. A lot of times you still have to paraphrase, and if you paraphrase, you still have to give people credit for their original ideas, stats, and information. Again, if you don't know that, and you put that in there, people will accuse you of plagiarism. Oh, you're trying to pull a fast one. Like, this is it. This is your stuff. Or you take somebody else's stuff on a paper that's previously been written, your boy hooked you up, and he's turned in a paper to the same professor, and then they crack you because they accuse you of plagiarism. This is not your original work. It happens every single semester that I've been teaching. One of the other reasons, people just do not believe fat meat is greasy and believe that you will get busted for that. Okay? If you need help, get help. And don't get jammed at the last minute, because a lot of times people end up trying to pull a fast one because they had waited too late. Now they're jammed up, and so they're trying to pull a fast one. In my class, no guests can come in. Cell phone policies, you know, professors don't like it when you're scanning and doing all that kind of stuff in class and you're supposed to be paying attention. But unless they give you permission to take notes or something on your laptop or use some of that technology. The textbooks that are used for that course should be on that syllabus. Access to all the other pertinent material for that course should be on that syllabus. Okay? You don't wait, what is this, the 4th week of class coming up? If you don't have those required texts and that material, you're behind. That's the stuff you start getting at the end of the semester for the upcoming semester. Okay, my folks, they don't have those books now, they're behind. I got a quiz coming up next week. If they haven't read that stuff, you know, they're not gonna pass. Grading criteria, whatever it is, make sure you understand it clearly, and sometimes it's weighted. Sometimes it's weighted. Now, I just assign points, okay? I've learned I just give people points.
Thank you. That percentage stuff sucks.
Well, and I've learned that, you know, but if you don't have enough points to get the grade you want, then they try to, oh, you gave me. No, I didn't give you anything. You earned these many points, and based on that many points, this is the grade that you have, okay? But however, your instructor grades, a lot of times, it can be very subjective. meaning it's based on their interpretation of the quality of what you turned in. Okay? That's why you need to know up front, what is it that they want? What are they expecting? Is there an example of something that people have written and turned in before that I can look at so I have an idea? Is there a template, something I can go by? Whatever it is, make sure you understand. Spend your time and energy on those assignments that carry the heaviest weights. Okay? Make sure you do that. Try to address all the assignments, but make sure if the final is 85% of the grade, you got to make sure that you're well prepared for that final. Am I right? Okay. And again, this is how I break down my points. Other things like attendance and punctuality, because I think up here, because this is a foundation course and we interact with individuals, see, 50 points are for participation and attendance.
Wow.
So if you don't show up to my class,
That's 50 points gone.
or you don't participate in the readings, when we're talking about the readings and material, I'm not going to give you those points. Or if I've asked you to lead the discussion on a special reading, or turn in a journal assignment, an online or written journal assignment, if you don't turn them in, you don't get those points. Okay? Professors know most of the time who's coming to class and who's not coming to class. Okay? If it's toward the end, you're on the line, and you at 399 points, okay, or let's say you're at 389 points, and I'm weighing whether I should give you an A or A minus, you come to my class, I know you're trying hard, I know you. If I've got any leeway, I may throw you a point.
He said if he knows you.
If I know you and I know you're trying hard, and you've indicated that this grade is important, this class is important to you. Okay? If you're late, you're trifling, and I'm like, you get what you get.
Could you go back up for a second to your grading, to the grading group, to the actual courses?
Yeah.
Now, as you see, his midterm exam is how much?
100 points.
100 points. Now remember, in the study schedule that I sent for you, I'm showing there's one session that's over how to prepare for what? A midterm. Now you see that he has 100 points in midterm. So say that you can only get 50 on the midterm, and say you get 25 on participation, and then you forget to do the journal assignment. You're done. You're done. You're done.
If you tank on the midterm, your rally for the rest of that semester is tough. It's only, it's tough. Now, you got this paper and this presentation. The paper, you're going to have to slam the paper.
Slam it.
You have to slam the paper. The presentation is not really that difficult, although people find a way to flunk that too.
Yeah.
But they do. They just don't show up. I ask for a PowerPoint presentation like this. I ask you to do a professional presentation on some basic points on your paper. Some people, they don't do it well, and they don't get the points. But it's really easy points, and that's what you got to understand. Don't miss the easy points.
Don't miss the easy.
Don't miss the easy stuff. Now, what about extra credit? You don't see any extra credit on here, right? But this is what I do. I throw my students extra credit. For example, the first session we were talking or something, and see Whitney Young. Did I mention Whitney Young here today? Write down Whitney Young too. Whitney Young is a brilliant elder, scholar, but he's a social worker too, and I teach in social work. Nobody knew who Whitney Young was. I said, bring me in a one-pager description, some main points about Whitney Young. Next week, I give you 5 points extra credit. Just for looking at it, and I even posted a documentary on Whitney Young in my e-course. Damn, how much easier can I make it?
So you gave them a video that they could watch.
A video they can watch, and all they got to do is write up one page and give me 3 main points about Whitney Young.
And that was extra 5 points?
That was an extra 5 points. Bring it into class, talk about what you wrote, give me the sheet, 5 points. Okay? That's not on my syllabus though, right? And so I'll have some of those throughout the semester. If you weren't there that day, you won't know about that. If you don't look at e-coursework, because sometimes I post them in e-coursework. If you don't look on there, you would know about that. But sometimes people just ask me, Doc, I didn't do well in that midterm. Is there anything I can do? Now, generally, I'm not going to just give some person an opportunity. That I have to give everybody an opportunity. You know, that's not fair. So I may say, okay, I'm going to put out another extra credit assignment, and I tell everybody, especially those folks who do well, they need to make sure that they look at that. You know, some of this journaling may be online, some of it's participation in group, some of it is leading exercises. Yes, sir.
I would like to add, for those who take classes that have online assignments, make sure that you're checking into your e-courseware every single day and checking your online assignments. Professors can add assignments as well as they can change assignments. So you need to be checking it every single day, your e-courseware and your online classes. Some of you say, oh, I don't have online classes. I go to campus for all my classes. That does not mean that your campus teacher doesn't have an online section for their class. As plenty of professors that I had to turn in paperwork, go to class, and spend time on an online assignment. So think about this. If you're taking a class and you have to go to the class and you have online assignments and you have exams, so in your study schedule that you create for yourself, you have to mark off time to do online assignments for a class that you show up for. This is very important when it comes to time management. This is very important when it comes to execution, because what's going to happen is you're going to be focused on all the exams and studying, and then you're going to forget all your online assignments. And it's going to hurt you just as much. So you have to be there physically as well as cyberly, if that's even a word. Digitally. I know that's a word.
So there's a midterm coming up, right? There's a quiz coming up this week. I spent a couple minutes at the end of the session helping them focus for the quiz. Okay? I'm not giving no study guides. This is college. I don't give study guides. Okay? But I'll give you some idea what the focus on. There's a lot of reading. But you got my PowerPoint slides too. You manage, if you manage to go online and go to eCourseWare, you got my slides, which tell you what things I think were important because I highlighted those in the slides. That doesn't mean I can't ask you about other stuff in the reading, but these are probably the things that you can be sure of. And if you ask me what's going to be in the exam outside of what I've told you about in class, I may give you some heads up. Okay? But I got to know that you're interested. The other thing is, so you got to study. The studying is reading all the material before the sessions, okay? And then you go back and review the material. Studying is not reading the material for the first time for the exam. Okay, you're just reading the material for the exam. Studying is going back and reviewing what you've already read and focusing in on the stuff that you think you're going to be tested. You hear what I'm saying? You know, you've got to be familiar with the material so you know how to study. And these assignments, you know, people they know they got a 5-page paper, they got a topic, right? And so they sit down and start writing that paper without having the syllabus right next to them, which tells them exactly what I want on that paper, how many pages it's supposed to be, okay? And what specific parameters there are for that paper, which means a lot of times they lose easy points, okay? Too many pages, I take off for that. Not formatted right, I take off for that. Not having all the content in there that I want, I take off for that. That's easy stuff that you can lose points on because you didn't pay attention to this. And turning it in late, you ain't got nothing coming for the most part, unless you got some kind of situation. And I have the discretion to not even allow it to come in this late. But most of the time I will. Again, if I know you, if I understand that you're sincere, you've really been working on it, that relationship. So for any of these assignments, it's important that you review the syllabus and that you see, is this syllabus giving you any heads up on what that assignment is, okay? For example, there's an out-of-class assignment on one of these things. Yeah, here's an out-of-class assignment, okay? And this is to prepare you for the final paper. Now sometimes, this one is not optional. Sometimes I'll have optional outline that you can turn in that I'll review. No points for it, and you don't have to do it. But if you do it, I will look at it and give you feedback and see if you're online for your paper, if you're on track for your paper, okay? Those who take the extra effort to do the optional online, have me look at it. They can email it back and forth to me however many times they want to. The electronic outline, I'll keep critiquing it, keep giving them feedback, so they're right on top of their paper. A lot of people don't. They don't. It's optional. I don't have to do it. I'm just going to write the paper. And that's particularly a problem. It's the first time you've had me as an instructor. You don't know exactly how I'm going to grade you on a paper and assignment. Okay? It's particularly important for me to give you feedback. Okay? For me to give you some heads up. How many people know how to do an outline? Make sure you do. Before you write a paper, really try to do an outline. So you make sure you capture all the content. And for me, for my papers, if I know there's certain stuff I want in there, make sure it's easy for me to find. Okay? Put a subheading. Doc, you wanted to know about Whitney Young? Whitney Young. That stuff is right under here.
For real?
I got a grading rubrics. I got a thing that I'm looking, when I grade your paper, I'm looking for this. Okay, 20 points. I'll look at your paper. Where is it? I don't see it. Is it here somewhere? I read through it, I don't see it. Let me get those points there. Okay? If I can't find it, if it's too hard to find, if it doesn't stand out, you know, you may not get the points. If it's Whitney Young, oh, okay, here it is right here, let me see. Okay, that's a decent effort to try to address that. Boom, 20 points. Okay? Professors, particularly in writing assignments, they like them to be very well organized. Make sure that you don't want someone who's grading, you don't want them to be frustrated when they're reading your assignment. You know, you want to be very well organized. A lot of times you get benefit of the doubt if you just made a sincere effort to address the content and put it in the section where it's supposed to be. Okay? And that you cited it appropriately. Okay? But again, you turn in a 5-page paper, there are no subheadings anywhere in the paper, or very few, man, I'm frustrated. You know, and that's not really a professional paper. Okay? Those are the easy things that you can do. Keep up with your due dates. Now, for me, if it's not in my schedule on my phone, it's probably not. I'm probably gonna miss it because that's how I keep up with my due dates. Okay? So these dates where this stuff is due, or what's going to be covered in class. Maybe there's a section you really are struggling with. You really want to be in attendance that day. You want to really be able to ask some questions. Okay? Make sure you prepare and you show up. All right? For me, I always have a pretty significant bibliography at the end of my syllabus. Okay? You could probably take this bibliography and pull enough resources from this bibliography to do the references for the paper that I'm asking you to do. You know? Probably, because it's pretty detailed. Depending on whatever topic it is, ask you to write a paper on a particular group or population of your choosing. There's a lot of stuff here you could probably pull just from this and have to do a minimal search on your own. I don't know how much easier it make it. A lot of folks never even get this far to the syllabus. They don't even look at this stuff. So that's my syllabus, and it's pretty detailed over time. I think I've learned how to do it, and again, it's the contract. I understand. I can't ask students to do something or hold them accountable for something that's not in my syllabus. That's the same thing with you too. You know, if you need to go back to professors or go to your advisor and have a conversation about your grade, and it's not clearly articulated in the syllabus, you know what it is you're expected to do or clear, or just so you know what to do. Sometimes the syllabus is not as clear on what it is you're supposed to do. Ask them. Ask the professors before you do the assignment. Okay? Any questions? Comments? I mean, are most of your syllabus this detailed? Some? Somewhat? Yeah. Make sure when the assignments come up, just check in with the professor. You know, particularly the ones, but I'm telling you everything. You know, is it going to be multiple choice? Is it going to be fill in the blank? Is it going to be true and false? You know, what's a good way to study for your exam, particularly if this is a new instructor? What's a good way? What would you advise to study, prepare for your exam? What would you advise I focus on? Try to get them to zero in. What's the content? What's going to be on it? A lot of times we will if you just ask. We'll tell you what to focus on. You know, if it's not clear in the PowerPoints, you know, especially if you got a lot of reading, a lot of material. Okay? Any questions? Bring the syllabuses to us if you're unclear too, so we can help decipher them for you. All right? Cool beans.
Can you put your cell on there? What's your professor gonna do?
That's a good point. I'm glad you mentioned that. Now, I'll put my cell on there. What I put behind it?
911.
Okay. I want to know if you're gonna miss class, something's going on, hit me with a text or call. Okay? Don't call me asking me what are we covering in class today. I'm gonna be hot. Okay? But there's no excuse for my students not being able to be in touch with me. If I'm not gonna make class, you're gonna shoot me an email right before. I may or may not see that. You know? But you shoot me with a text or you call, you know, I understand what's going on. Because for me, because this is a practice course, the classroom setting is like a job. Okay? You need to respond to me in that setting as you would a job. You wouldn't just not show up to work with you. But if you would, you might not have a job. Okay? If something goes down, let me know. All right? And also, after they've taken my courses, now we're colleagues too. Now we're colleagues. So as you go through your field placements and other things, you need to get in touch with me, ask me some advice or some heads up or something. You know, you got my cell.